What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. Messed up and out of touch, let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. I got a little revenge today. VTOL VR. I struggled and struggled with that open water mission. It just kept whooping my butt and whooping my butt. Well, when you win, you get access to more weapons. And 6 of those weapons that I used in that video, I didn't have to originally defeat that mission. That's why I went back and sought revenge, because that makes it a piece of cake. But without those, man, because you got there's 3 big carriers, and you have to get them one way or another to quit launching their damn missiles at you and your buddies. And the only way to do that is to continually hit them. And when you don't have that, and you only have, like essentially Hellfire missiles, unguided Hellfire missiles, bombs that are okay-ish, and then a big-ass Gatling gun. You got one of those, but that doesn't work nearly as good against armor. So anyway, it's a bunch of fun. I really enjoy playing that. That was the 4th mission. And the 5th one is a nighttime mission. I haven't even tried it once yet, so I'm scared. It is a handful. That is for sure. It is a handful, but it's a lot of fun. Other than that, I wanted to make sure I got some Vito VR time in over the weekend, and that I did. Actually defeated 3 and 4 over the weekend, so it wasn't just 4. 3 is no problem, though. That's just walk in the park. But anywho, let's see. Got quite a bit, really, for a Sunday. I mean, I only have 5 articles up. There's a lot of stuff that went on over the weekend, however. Quite a bit of stuff. So I'm only going to cover the last 24 hours as far as the headlines and what I'm covering tonight. But keep in mind that around the planet, things are really starting to heat up. I mean, all over. And they are really seriously starting to heat up. So, something that you want to keep in mind. Don't know of anything else to really go into tonight. I thought it was pretty incredible that I ran across a... I wanted to watch the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. I did watch the series, and it's entertaining, right? And then they've been doing spin-offs with, like, each of the characters. And so I've watched some of them so far. I know there's, there's one where Negan, and I would imagine the season's over with by now, but one with Negan and Michonne that was being done. And then this one was Daryl Dixon. But in the series, I happened to run across that. And I'm like, I guarantee that a majority of even preppers would have no idea what that is. And I spotted it, and within a second, a flash, I knew exactly what it was. I was getting the time out of the video so that I could get a screenshot of it, because that is a wood gasifier. So now they're actually, Hollywood is actually even putting them in their movies. And I have to say, you know, that I'm guaranteeing that is 100% aesthetic. That is not functional. I guarantee it. For one, I don't recall seeing smoke. I don't recall seeing heat coming from, you know, the rear area here. You would see the heat coming from it, plus you would see smoke. I don't recall seeing that. There could have been. I don't recall seeing it. Of course, in this still shot here, no smoke, no heat. But that's a wood gasifier. And I'm not 100% sure what this is really supposed to be. Possibly just connection. Don't know. But that's the feed line for the wood gas up to the front of the vehicle. And what this is here is going to be a filter. That's going to be, it's going to have filter medium. You can use sawdust. Sawdust works great. But that's going to be a filter medium and then going into the engine. Now, it's kind of funny, all this contraption here. That actually might be used for catching anything left over as far as that's moist, like an oil. That might be what that is, or it could just be for good looks. One thing that they don't have is you have to cool it. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a concept there. I know that really here isn't anything that's going to cool it. So you do need to cool it. Even in a long run like that, you're going to need to cool it before it gets to your filter medium. And you're actually, when it comes to trying to catch oil or anything like that, you actually want that before your filter. You would want that, pretty shortly after the gasifier and before the cooler. Or you could, let's see, maybe you want to put that after the cooler. I don't know. It's not 100%. On any of them that I've done, I have not put that. So it's not 100%, but there are individuals that build gasifiers that they absolutely do that. I don't know if it's before. I think it's after the radiator, the cooler. Because you're going to want to cool it. If you don't cool it, the problem's going to be is it's not going to be able to go into the engine and combust well. You need to condense it. To cool it, you need to condense it. Otherwise, what I'm trying to get at is, with it being hot, it's going to be too airy, if you will. It's going to be too gaseous. So you're going to want to cool it so it's more condensed. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get enough hydrogen to oxygen mixture to be able to run that engine with very much load or very high RPM, either one. So definitely going to want to cool it. I do not see a cooler there. That's the only thing that I see that they're missing. Aside from that, they did a pretty good job. I don't know what I really don't know what the other hose is supposed to be that's going into that. Again, I think that's very likely just, make it look cool. I don't know what you would need. To my knowledge, nothing. You just, after it's cooled, after it's filtered, run it into the carburetor, essentially. I'm sure that's carbureted. And if it's fuel injected, all depends on your vehicle, how easy or hard that it's going to be. I will tell you, the older the vehicle, the easier it will be. So, especially if you have something, if you have something late 70s or older, that's going to be a breeze. So, anyway. Pretty cool stuff. You don't see that often. You just don't. And then I mentioned something to Joe Niermeyer because it's not something I read in books often. And I haven't been able to get his book yet. His second book, 14 Days. And he said he briefly mentioned it in there. So that is definitely awesome. And I'm talking about wood gasification. It's something that really needs to be talked about. I mean, it really needs to become forefront information for the preparedness community. I am at a loss why so many channels that I know damn well have heard about it at this point, kind of like, not needed. It is needed for that next step. It's one thing if you've got your food stored up and you're good to go and you got But at some point, you're going to run out of food. What then? How are you going to produce enough food? Why are people wanting to take the risk that enough of their people will survive and will be productive enough? Because you're talking about a bunch of what ifs there. Why not make it a sure bet? Wood gasification. You can use tractors, trucks. Make it a sure bet. Makes no sense to me why it gets ignored, but it is what it is. I'm the dumbass. So anyway, I am having coffee tonight because I can. Oh man. I'm not in a super quick hurry because I've got 5 tabs open, and tomorrow though, expect to be busy. It is Sunday. I don't think the week's gonna go by easy. Alright. Scores dead as frigid conditions ravage U.S., says CBS. And I want to just preface this with a moment. If you're in the preparedness community and winter storms are nothing new to you, you should have been ready. I don't understand. Maybe it's for views. Maybe it's for drama. I don't know. But for quote-unquote preppers that are used to winter weather, to miss, I don't know what to tell you. I don't truly understand. Either it's for attention, or we really need to stop with the facade. Something. I mean, I had primary contingency back up from there. If I absolutely had to, I've got a Coleman lantern and a Coleman 533 dual fuel stove, and I've got a Coleman 2-burner stove in there, and I guarantee you I would have found enough stuff, metals, dents, what have you, to put on those stoves, to act as diffusers. I'd have fired them stoves up, because I guarantee you that this place is not so airtight that we have to worry about Coleman stoves being turned on, or a Coleman lantern being turned on. And while that wouldn't make it cozy, it would certainly keep us alive, especially if we did so like back in the back bedroom, shut the door. Again, I know there's plenty of airflow through there. All I got to do is open up the bathroom door. There's a vent in the bathroom that goes up to the ceiling. Right now, we have one of those deals that's got 2 foam tubes in. It's a piece of material that's got, it's looped, and I've got 2 of the round pieces, kind of like a pool noodle, but a lot skinnier, that's in that material on both sides and the bottom of the door. It's a draft stopper is what it is. You can go to Amazon and search draft stopper. And they're incredible. If you've got a drafty home, if you know the trick about taking a blanket or something like that and putting it up again, well, that's what it essentially does. And so we've got that, because that's where the biggest draft comes through, is the bathroom, because of the vent in the ceiling. And so we stop that draft there. And then we've got one of the real thick hotel blankets, heavy ass bastards. We got one of those folded up at the front door, and at the back door, we've got a fitted sheet we don't use, and of course it's kind of crumpled up across the bottom of the door, and it's got heavy stuff up against it to keep that draft out from the bottom of the back door. So we've got as many of the drafts as we can cut out as it is. So if we had to heat, like I said, with a couple of Coleman stoves and a Coleman lantern, especially the bedroom and the bathroom, that would be doable. Again, it wouldn't be like a tropical sunrise, but we would survive. And we got plenty of fuel to be able to make it for a fairly good amount of time. Again, I don't understand. These are the same individuals, by the way, that because our channel's not big, we can't know anything. We're stupid. It makes no sense. At least 89 people have died in weather-related incidents across the United States in recent days, a report by CBS News said on Sunday, as dangerously cold conditions continue to impact various parts of the country. Howdy, Leo. Right on. Plundering gold treasure. Let's see. Tens of millions of people across the U.S. once again face bitterly cold conditions this weekend as a blast of frigid Arctic air traveled southwards from Canada, sending temperatures plummeting to record lows, blanketing sections of the country with thick layers of ice and snow. How cold it is varies by region, but in Chicago, for example, the wind chills dropped the temperatures to minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 34 degrees Celsius. Elsewhere in states like Texas, Alabama, and Georgia, temperatures hovered in or around 20 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 6.6 degrees Celsius last week. Tennessee's Department of Health has confirmed that at least 25 fatalities associated with the weather conditions over the past several days, CBS said, while another 16 have died in various incidents in Oregon and the western U.S. This includes 3 people who were killed in the state when a tree fell on their car. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a prepper or not. That's just a real bad day. Oregon has declared a state of emergency after more than 45,000 people were left without power as a result of storms. Deaths have also been reported in various other states, including Illinois, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Washington, New York, New Jersey, and more. Various other fatalities, including a person killed in a 5-car crash in Kentucky, are being investigated to identify if the adverse weather conditions were the primary cause. In the state of Mississippi, officials have told residents to be aware of hazardous conditions on the roads and to drive only if necessary. Bitterly cold, below average temperatures were expected to extend in the coming week, forecasters say. Arctic air will combine with moisture from the Gulf to create an icy mess from Oklahoma to Illinois, meteorologist Molly McCollum said. Travel will be treacherous on Monday. And yes, they've been putting out warnings about travel here. The eastern half of the United States will likely see its coldest weather yet this season early in the week, with dangerous wind chills and a hard freeze warning, where temperatures stay at or below 29 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 1.6 degrees Celsius for an extended period of time, issued as far south as northern Florida. There is some respite in sight, however, as temperatures are expected to rise by midweek, though, according to the Weather Channel, this could swiftly thaw ice and snow, leading to an increased risk of flooding in some areas. So yeah, we got a nice little warm-up coming, so which will be great, because right as it's starting to hit the upper 40s, touching on 50s, when we'll be out of fuel, and if it's 50 degrees out, these heaters barely have to run. They just run for a little bit, turn on, warm it up, and then cool back down. They'll turn on for another 10 minutes or so and be off for another hour, So around 50 degrees, man. These heaters do great. You start getting below that very much, and that's where the diesel heater comes in real handy. These heaters are off 24 degrees outside, and I think that's 2.3 or 2.2, I can't remember, 2.3 hertz is where I've got it running. 24 degrees outside, that ain't bad. Let's see. Kick on to the next story. Oh, you and your huffing. U.S. preparing for sustained Yemen bombing campaign, says Washington Post. It's unclear when Houthi military capabilities will be sufficiently damaged, officials have told the newspaper. Or the paper, not newspaper. The U.S. is preparing for a sustained bombing campaign in Yemen after 10 days of airstrikes failed to undermine the ability of Houthi fighters to target ships in the Red Sea, the Washington Post has reported, citing unnamed officials. The administration of President Joe Biden does not expect a protracted operation such as the U.S. campaigns in Iraq or Afghanistan, but at the same time, it cannot provide a time frame for when Houthi military capabilities will be adequately diminished, the newspaper reported on Saturday. Washington's strategy is to curb the ability of the Shiite militant group to target ships off the coast of Yemen, or at least create safe conditions for shipping companies to resume sending vessels to the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, sources added. The Houthis have launched dozens of drone and missile attacks on commercial ships in the area, and in recent months declaring support for Gaza amid Israel's military operation in the Palestinian enclave. Militants have also vowed revenge against the U.S. and the U.K., who have been carrying out strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen for more than a week. We are clear-eyed about who the Houthis are and their worldview, so we're not sure that they're going to stop immediately, but we are certainly trying to degrade and destroy their capabilities, one U.S. official told the Post. Washington is not trying to defeat the Houthis. There's no appetite for invading Yemen, a diplomat familiar with the situation explained. Instead, the U.S. wants to degrade their ability to launch these kind of attacks going forward, and that involves hitting the infrastructure that enables these kind of attacks and targeting their higher-level capabilities, he added. President Biden ordered the strikes on Yemen for ideological reasons rather than economic, as the U.S. seeks to maintain its status as the world's indispensable nation, officials claimed. The Washington Post expressed concern that the bombing campaign against the Houthis would become a setback for Biden's goal of preventing the spread of the Israel-Hamas conflict to other parts of the Middle East. It could also end up undermining his attempt to refocus U.S. foreign policy on Russia and China, the newspaper argued. I would say that we could be entering a true FAFO moment. And I mean that. And, hang on one second. So we could be really getting a black eye if we keep up. Because all Iran has to do is launch one of their intermediate range missiles, because they've got hypersonic intermediate range missiles. I think they're intermediate, the hypersonic one. Nonetheless, all Iran has to do is give a couple to the Houthis and let them launch them. I do think that this is going to escalate. By how much, I couldn't tell you that. Nobody can tell you that. But I don't think it's going to be a simple cakewalk. It's not going to be that easy, and the reason I say that is because of not just Iran's backing, but how far Iran is willing to go in that backing in this particular situation. I personally think Iran's ready to do quite a bit to support the Houthis or any other group that's willing to poke at the United States. I think there are a bunch of nations that are done messing around with the United States, and if the United States is going to play proxy war across the world, well, I think that's where they're at too. And I don't see anything quelling this, especially this Middle East. I don't see anything quelling it. In fact, you might even see attention being pulled from the Ukraine situation. I don't know. At the same time, they certainly benefit from the entire world of being on fire at the same time. So, oh yikes, Steve, that's crazy. Hopefully it makes it. So, I've got one question about this lab-grown beef. Since it's being sold in Israel, being approved for sale in Israel, is it going to be kosher? Because my money's on they're going to claim it's kosher. Then my second question is Netanyahu going to eat any? Because I bet he's not going to eat any. This is for us. This is for the Gentiles. Goyim, whatever term you want to use. This is for us, and it's also for the peasants, even the Israeli peasants. Because if you're just Israeli, that's not good enough. And that's a fact. If you are not Zionist, then you're a peasant. And if you're not a non-Jewish Zionist, then you are most certainly a Gentile or a Goyim. That's the way it is. People need to, there's so much. If they would pay attention to the Bible, it tells you the whole thing. All of it. They can't do anything without your approval, right? You've heard that. If people that believe in the Bible, they know where I'm coming from with it. They can't do anything without your approval. Remember how they always talk, oh, you have to accept the mark of the beast? Well, yeah, that's absolutely correct. You have to accept all of it, all of the lies, from the top to the bottom. And there's a whole lot of lies that the world's been told regarding faith, regarding God. A whole lot of lies, whole lot of misdirections. And it's been done on purpose. And it started way before that, but the big initial swapperoo, if you will, the bait and switch, was done at the Council of Nicaea. How many people, how many Christians blindly support Israel? So, if somebody's blindly supporting a nation, or blindly supporting a group of people, wouldn't you say that they're letting it happen? They're agreeing to it? I certainly would. I don't know what to tell folks. It's much easier to fool somebody than what it is to tell them they've been fooled. That's for sure. Anyway, more to the to the article here. An Israeli company had received preliminary approval from the government to sell the world's first steaks made from cultivated beef cells, the country's health ministry, damn, I can't talk now, announced this week. That's probably because coffee, yeah, it was calling my name, and I didn't hear it, so let me go see what it needs. You don't say. I'll take care of that. Right away. Yeah, got it. I quick conversation with coffee. It's all okay now. The ministry said the approval was part of the pilot program for alternative protein carried out by the Department of Food Risk Management. Boy, don't you love them folks at the Department of Food Risk Management. It also cited the growing global demand for products of non-living origin. Not by this guy. Adding it is working to approve alternative food sources. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who won't be eating this crap, has called the development a global breakthrough and important news for food security, environmental protection, and concern for animals. Don't forget global warming, although that's included in environmental protection. Aleph Farms, which was granted an... Are you really a farm? I mean, are you a farm if you like just all test tubes and stuff? I don't think so. You are a lab. You mean Aleph Labs. You spelled labs funny. Which was granted the go-ahead, will make the beef from cells derived from a fertilized egg from a cow named Lucy. Poor Lucy had to give up her egg. A black Angus, now that's just some racist BS right there, that lives on a California farm. Really, a racist, liberal black Angus. What's this world coming to? However, it could take months before the product is served to diners, as regulators must still approve the company's labels, because that matters, and conduct a final inspection. Yep, feed that bullshit to them. That's what that's going to consist of. Addressing common challenges such as food security will be the best way to ensure the prosperity of the Middle East region. You mean the Palestinians. As well as other regions around the world that are significantly dependent on food imports, with an emphasis on Asia. Aleph Labs, spelled funny, CEO Diddy Tubia was quoted as saying by the Times of Israel. Well, Diddy or diddled or something, I don't know. Creating cultivated or cell-cultured meat, also known as, now thank you, lab-grown meat, not farm-grown, thank you, could help reduce the environmental impacts of conventional meat production. Two cows getting it on, right? And that's conventional meat production right there. Proponents claim, yeah, I'd rather the cows do each other and get it that way. However, producing such meat on a large scale would mean high costs, experts indicate. Well, yeah, I mean, if all the actors are like John Holmes, that's going to cost you a dime. But, I have to go there, some mediocres in there, a bunch of 6-inchers, and everything will work. Singapore and the U.S. have previously approved cultured chicken for sale. More than 150 companies worldwide reportedly have plans to produce lab-grown meat. So you're either going to eat the lab-grown meat or you're going to eat the bugs. One of the two. No cow for you, though. It's crazy. It is absolutely mind-blowing, the bullshit. And I can't type. I can't type. Can't read. I can't get no. Oh, sorry. Coffee. Calm me down again. Death toll spikes from Ukrainian shelling of Russian city. A number of fatalities from the Ukrainian shelling of a busy market in Donetsk has climbed to at least 25, Denis Pushilin, the leader of Russia's Donetsk People's Republic, has said. Some 20 civilians were also wounded in the horrendous attack on Sunday, which has left dozens dead, he wrote in a post on Telegram. Many of the injured are in a serious condition, including with penetrating wounds in the area of vital organs and traumatic amputation of limbs, according to the official. 2 children who were wounded in the bombardment have been described as being in moderate condition, the regional chief added. The shelling, which hit the Kharkiv district in southwest of Donetsk, was carried out with the use of 152 mm and 155 millimeter munitions, Pushilin said. Earlier on Sunday, the Republic's Joint Center for Control and Coordination said 3 shells were fired at the Kharkiv district shortly after 10 a.m. local time, and 3 more around 10 minutes later. The mayor of Donetsk, Oleksiy Kulzmzin, something like that, condemned the attack as another dark day in the history of the city. Ukrainian forces wickedly decided to bring death and destruction on the civilians of Donetsk to avenge failures on the battlefield, he wrote on Telegram. Donetsk which is close to the conflict front line, and other towns and villages in the Republic have been targeted by Ukrainian forces on almost a daily basis since the conflict between Moscow and Kiev escalated in February 2022. Ukrainian neo-Nazi troops also regularly shelled the city in aftermath of the 2014 coup in Kiev that prompted the Donetsk region to secede from Ukraine and eventually become part of the Russian Federation. Sunday's attack, however, was among the city's worst. Ukraine's first deadly bombardment of Donetsk in 2024 took place shortly after midnight on January 1st, claiming 4 lives. Earlier this week, 6 civilians were wounded by Ukrainian shelling of the town of Gorlovka when a kindergarten and a hotel were hit. So, oh man. On the last tab now. Oh. Let's see. I have a couple of vapes. Going through it pretty quick. That's why I decided to have coffee tonight, because I didn't want to be dragging ass. Gave me a nice boost. I mean, I don't know if you could tell or not. Probably wasn't that obvious. Yay, my e-cigs are charged. I'm knocking other stuff over. I gotta figure out why my OEM charger for my watch isn't doing so hot. The replacement that I've been using for a while is still working fine, and I had the other one, the OEM one, working good, but now I don't know. I swear I had it plugged in and it was losing charge, although it said it was charging. It wasn't gaining, it was losing. Pretty much the story of my life. Oh. Did I say that? Nah. Huh? Oh, I pissed the daughter off. You know what they say? It's better to be pissed off than pissed on, but you know you're screwed if you're pissed in. Alright. I mean, just a little public service announcement. Hang on. Apparently, even I'm allergic to bullshit. All right. AI threatens world or jobs worldwide. Well, AI threatens the world. So I could have just went with that. Anyway, this is coming from the IMF. You know, international motherfucker. Those peoples. Nearly 40% of jobs across the globe could be affected by the rise of artificial intelligence, AI, for those that couldn't figure that out, with high income economies more exposed than emerging markets and low income countries. The International Mother has warned in a new report. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't great. I mean, just coffee. It's not a country of piss. Piss is an organization within a country. Hang on. Google is my friend. It's capital P on piss, and then a lowercase I on piss, and a capital S on piss. Only one S in piss, though. Only one S in piss. I have no, it's not even coming up. I don't, I know I guarantee that there's some type of agency out there named Piss, besides the multitudes of them I'm looking at. There was one in particular, Piss, that I was speaking on the other night. So, okay, this is it. This is it. Polish nationalists piss on. They piss on brink of losing power. So, what? How does pissing on the brink stop you from losing power? Is what I want to know. Poland's incumbent law and justice piss. And I mean, I perfectly understand why you would name Poland's incumbent law and justice piss. It just makes sense. It's just logic. Oh, wait, that's Poland. Need we say more? The country was piss. Right, the country, exactly. Oh, about the, is there something? Oh, is there some? Yeah, Kratom will pep. I didn't know that was a question, Steve. Sorry. Kratom will pep you up, brother. It will definitely put a bump in your step. Not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. See your physician so he can lie to you too. Anyway, either that or just ask AI. I mean, you know, AI would never tell us the wrong thing. Which kind? Brother, they have 50 billion different kinds, flavors, if you will. And to tell you the truth, it's pretty much the same. If you want something for energy, though, I'm going to tell you to go with a red or a white. So, specifically a white. If it's called white elephant or whatever, yeah. White or a red. So, preferably white. I'm not racist. There's not even a black. Uh-oh. Damn. Kratom's racist. Let's see. Alright. Nearly 40% of jobs across the globe could be affected by the rise of artificial... Oh, I read that part. In a blog post over the weekend, IMF Chief Kristalina Georgieva called for the governments to tackle the troubling trend and to proactively take steps to prevent the technology from further stoking social tensions. We are on the brink of a technological revolution that could jumpstart productivity, boost global growth, and raise incomes around the world. Yet it could also replace jobs and deepen inequality, Georgieva stated. The report pointed out that while automation and information technology have historically tended to affect routine tasks, AI, the report pointed out, that shouldn't be a capital T, that while automation and information technology have historically tended to affect routine... Oh, why? I just started reading the same sentence over, that's why. I'm the retarded one. AI is also capable of impacting jobs requiring, missing whole words, highly skilled workers. As a result, advanced economies face greater risk from AI, but also more opportunities to leverage its benefits than emerging market and developing economies. It's not written correctly, said I. Not AI. They're the ones who wrote the damn thing, according to the IMF. The report showed that in advanced economies, about 60% of jobs may be impacted by AI. However, roughly half the exposed jobs may benefit from AI integration. Now that's diversity out there, thus enhancing productivity, the International wrote. For the other half, AI applications may execute, that's not good, key tasks currently performed by humans. Execute humans. I told you, which could curtail demand for labor. Well, hell yeah, I mean, you kill the humans, not going to be much need for labor, leading to lower wages and reduced hiring. Well, yeah, kind of goes along with it. In the most extreme cases, the planet would be depopulated. Oh, no, some of these jobs may disappear entirely, or, species. Georgieva warned. These bastards. In emerging markets and low-income countries, by contrast, AI exposure is expected to be 40% and 26%, respectively, or irrespectively, if you like to piss off the grammar queens. These findings suggest emerging markets or something. Developing economies face fewer immediate disruptions from AI. They really got to stop letting AI write this stuff, though. At the same time, many of these countries don't have the infrastructure or skilled workforces to harness the benefits of AI, raising the risk that over time the technology could worsen inequality among nations, the International Mother concluded. Let's see. Right on, yeah. Just either try white if you've tried red and don't remember, try the white. I mean, like I say, they all pretty much, for me, they did much of the same stuff. But if I were to pick one that gave me a little more energy, I'd say the white. So, piss. Yeah, exactly. Because yellow piss means you're dehydrated. So, yeah. See? It all come together there, right? Just like Jen Psaki told us it would, right? There you go. Jen Psaki. It was right there in front of us the entire time. We didn't know she was a prophet. Right, exactly. You see. Exactly. Oh, man. Oh, man. No good can come from my show. Not when I've had coffee. Especially when I haven't had it in the evening for a while. Coffee Back when I wasn't quite so worn out. Oof. And that's why I didn't drink it. For the majority of my life, I didn't drink coffee. Why? Because I knew that the day would come I would need it. And that's why I didn't drink it. Because if I did drink it, man, I was bouncing off the damn walls so bad. Now it just keeps me alive. So we got these headline things that I do. I reckon we could run through them. Get the heck out of here. EU state to resume cultural cooperation with Russia, says media. Majority of cryptocurrencies dead, says CoinGecko. Russian plane crashes in Afghanistan. Refugees leaving German state over new cash rules, says Bild. Let's see. Russia reacts to Germany's support for Israel in genocide case. NATO states economy minister tells citizens to invest in tanks. So there you go. Folks that want to know where to invest their money, the military-industrial complex. And I would say probably a pretty safe bet. Wait a minute. That's weird. Let's see. Oops, didn't mean to click on that. Unclick. Multiple casualties as Ukraine shells Donetsk. Russian gas operator names cause of terminal blaze. Russia could control 30% of global wheat exports, says French foreign minister. Barbaric attack using Western arms. Moscow decries Ukrainian shelling of Donetsk. Egypt falling out of favor with Russians, says media. Howdy, Friday. Let's see. UK sets up new counter-espionage unit. Frontline situation dramatic for Ukraine, said German reporter. American democracy in danger, says Trump. Covered that one. Republican rival questions Trump's mental fitness. Mental health sick days increase in EU state. Russia knows where we hide weapons, says Ukraine. Ukraine moving towards authoritarianism, says Kiev's mayor. Israel has killed just a fifth of Hamas fighters, says Wall Street Journal. Trump's top rival drops out of U.S. presidential race, talking about DeSantis. Communists mark 100th anniversary of Lenin's death. And lastly, UN condemns Ukrainian attack that killed 27 civilians in Russian city. That's it. I don't have any headlines waiting. Nothing. So I would urge you to look at this as the calm before the storm. And when I say that, I don't mean apocalypse. I mean, it's going to be a busy week. And I would imagine that tomorrow's news is going to be pretty jam-packed. Just got that sneaky suspicion. I don't think we're going to have slow news days other than possible, Sundays for a while. I think it's going to pick up. So, as in, like, back the way it was with COVID full swing. So, don't say I didn't warn you. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here to round this off to a cool hour. And God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody coming. Hope to see you tomorrow night. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.